Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. As always, this podcast is made possible by our local convenience stores, the misappropriation of history, and you. And now to your hosts, Justin Hammonds, Brant Bramlett, and Drew Shellnut.
What's up? What's happening, world? This is a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction. And we back again with these hot physics this week. Today we're talking about a dude named Robert Smalls. But before we get into that, I'm Justin Hammonds. I'm looking at my boy Drew Shellnut.
What is up?
Actually in studio.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
And my boy Grant Bramlett.
Howdy doody.
Over here thugging. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to all the new listeners that we picked up recently. Appreciate y'all for supporting us. Mm-hmm. Tell your mama, tell your friend, tell your uncles.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting nervous over here. Knowing this many people are listening.
Yeah. No, it's dope. Thank y'all so much. And remember, you can always support us at anchor.fm/Friends, Facts, and Fiction. You can subscribe to our monthly little give us some monies, or you can just subscribe to know that when we drop some hot shit. Or you can follow us on Spotify and give us that 5-star review on iTunes. That shit always helps to get these hot facts out there and, just to entertain y'all, make y'all laugh a bit, take a little pressure off the day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, we're back again this week. But before we hop into the hot facts, how's everybody doing?
I have decided to watch all of the Spider-Mans.
Yeah. Since you've seen the newest joint, yeah, it'll definitely bring back that nostalgia. Real quick.
I'm almost done with. I did it out of order. It was just like kind of, one night I was like, I kind of like those Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. I'm gonna watch one of those, and then spurred into me watching all of them now.
Yeah.
So it was like Andrew Garfield, then Tom Holland, and then I went back to Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And I'm almost done with the third one. Oh my God, dude, it's so bad.
It's rough. It's rough.
It's rough. Scene where he's like all cool now, and he's got his bangs in his face, and his hair is inexplicably darker.
Yeah.
And he's like making finger guns at the ladies in the streets of New York with the funk going on in the background. And then he buys a black suit, and all of a sudden he's cool. It's horrible.
Well,
but oh my God, was I laughing hard.
That's one of the things that he talked about in an interview because he was hard to get back to get in the newest one.
I was actually really surprised to see him.
Yeah, and he said,
sorry, spoilers by the way.
He literally, oh yeah, shit. If you haven't seen it, no, but none of this shit is real. We're just bullshitting. But yeah, he talked about how he's seen the passion for the movie. Talking to the director and producer, not just like trying to fucking. Like the cash grab they did with 2 and 3 of his fucking series. Yeah. They just really just made some shit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But, at that time, that was a new world, man. That level of superhero movie.
The first one still is really good.
Yeah.
Honestly. Watching it again as an adult, and I have like these 2 other franchises to compare it to, it's still really good. Yeah. And the CGI is horrible, but, it was 20 years ago. Cut him some break.
Right.
See what
20 years ago.
That's crazy.
We're gonna skip on over that. but the wild shit too is people don't realize that like Blade is a part of Marvel and was actually the first Marvel movie that like succeeded. And that's some new shit that's about to drop.
Oh really?
If you've seen Eternals,
I haven't seen that yet.
Ooh, if you've seen Eternals and the post credit scene. That's all I'm gonna say. I think I'm giving away too much.
All right.
let's back on out of there. Anyway, hope y'all doing well. The homies out here traveling.
Yeah.
Doing the art installations over here.
Yeah. It's great.
Drisky Wooski.
It's a nice change.
Yeah. His mood seems lighter. He even gave me a chef's knife today. Yeah. As a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple chef coats that are nice and new.
Rad.
A true symbol of retirement.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
for you,
that.
Mm-hmm.
You
nice.
legit seem happier.
Nice.
It's great.
It's a nice little weight off my shoulders, and I get to see the country.
Yeah.
And still do podcasts with you crazy fuckers. So that's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
Nothing.
Travel and friends.
To win the lottery, it's sitting at $421 million right now.
Damn. But yeah, before we get into these hot physics, we're going to do the song of the day. And I decided to do a little ditty called Flavor in Your Ear by Craig Mack. and it features Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G.
I know we had to do a remix, right?
Niggas is mad, I get more butt than ashtrays. Fuck a fair one, I get mine the fast way. Ski mask way, and nigga ransom notes. Far from handsome, but damn a nigga tote much. More guns than roses, foes is shaking in their boots. A visible bully, like the gooch, disappear, vamoose, you whack to me. Take them rhymes back to the factory. I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics, the shit is depressing, pathetic. Please forget it.
Bars. Old bars right there. One of the legends, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's Craig Mack, R.I.P. to Craig Mack and Biggie Smalls, actually. Flavor in Your Ear. I think that shit dropped in like 93 or some shit. Anyway, today I want to talk about the original Biggie Smalls. See that? See that?
Yeah.
See that right there? That segue right there?
Hey.
Oh, I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
But anyway, get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Settle in. You know, you driving on the road. Clear your mind. You know what I mean? Hit a little weed, you know, whatever. Take a little sip. You know what I mean? Soak in your Epsom salt. Whatever you're doing, you know, cleaning the house. We love you. You're beautiful. But anyway, today I want to talk about the original Biggie Smalls, a man named Robert Smalls. And if you don't know that name, well, you're in for a cool-ass story. And if you do, and if you're familiar with that name, I admire you and your knowledge.
Thank you.
Now, Robert Smalls was born into slavery on April 5th, 1839, behind his owner's home at 511 Prince Street in Beaufort, South Carolina, which is odd because, or ironic.
I think that's it's more so Beaufort.
Beaufort.
Oh,
Beaufort, South Carolina.
Anyway, 511 Prince Street is odd because I used to live at 302 Prince Avenue, actually, here in Nashville. It's a little connection there. But that address is, remember the address. Anyway, he was the favorite of the enslaved children. One, because he was a mixed-race child. And two, his mother, Lydia, served in the house of the plantation. Obviously, being he was mixed, it's not clear who his actual father was, though. John McKee, the plantation owner, or Henry McKee, the son of the owner, but his last name ultimately was Smalls, so I believe it was the plantation manager, Patrick Smalls, who was his father. Anyways, Robert's mother was worried about if he grew up in a sheltered environment without seeing the actual atrocities that happened to their people, he would grow up ignorant and reach manhood without grasping the harsh realities of the fucking world. Salute to her for not raising a soft-ass bitch. There's a lot of y'all out there. Anyway, so she made him work in the fields for a spell and witness slaves at the whipping post, amongst other terrible things, which that's fucking horrible for a child to go through, but that was the times. She was right to not let him grow up ignorant, but she would never have predicted that this created a rebellious, defiant teen who ended up in the Beaufort jail frequently. So she devised another plan to keep him, you know, safe. That's our quotations for the new peoples. She asked the plantation owner, McKee, to send him to Charleston to be rented out for work. By the age of 19, he had worked many city jobs, but nothing struck his little attention, like the work he found in the harbor. Well, now, with the knowledge he soaked up while working on the water, you would have been hard-pressed to find someone who knew more about the Charleston Harbor than Robert Smalls. This guy really just soaked it up, you know what I mean? And at this point, he had worked it for, I think, about 5 years. He's about 19, and that's when he earned his job on the Planter, a ship that served in the Civil War under the Confederate flag, of course. This is also where he met his wife, Hannah, a slave of the Kingman family. And she also worked at the Charleston Hotel, which is a pretty swanky job for somebody that's, you know, a slave back in the day. With permission from the Kingman family, the newlyweds moved into an apartment together and had 2 beautiful children. Now, Smalls knew there was no guarantee of a permanent union between him and his wife without his ultimate purchase of her from the Kingman family. As he inquired about the purchase, he found out that it would cost him $800 to secure his family's future. Quick pause. $800 for a person. Anyway,
Cell phones are more expensive.
Now working on the ship and in the harbor, he only earned a whopping $1 a week.
Ooh,
Yeah. So, how long do you think it would take him to get $700? A long fucking time. So the dread of never truly feeling like his family was safe from the separation, from a separation, getting sold off in different directions and all that bullshit, Smalls began to think of a more innovative ways to make sure he, his family, and a few others would always have the security they wanted. So he plotted a way to freedom.
A quick pause, real quick. Quick one, real quick.
Quick one, real quick.
Yeah.
Quick
one,
pause, real quick.
Quick pause, real quick.
Heard ATM machine.
No, I just wanted to comment on his mom wanting him to see the reality of the world,
Yeah.
and obviously that made a huge impact on him because he's about what he's about to do here, which is super fucking cool. It just makes me think about some of the bullshit that's happening these days. I don't want to get all political or too political here, but just talking people not wanting critical race theory taught in schools, certain books being banned again. Why are we fucking going back to burning books? What the fuck is happening?
It's like Georgia and the fucking Daughters of Confederacy.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Like, I just don't understand.
Which you can go back into our index of episodes.
Yeah.
We covered all that in the Blackout series.
Yeah,
But
I mean, and if you try and shelter people, like, it's just you're giving them a false sense of reality, one. And two, I don't think that is like true happiness. Like, the only way you can understand beauty is to see
Tragedy.
ugliness.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, and also with the whole like sheltering kids and stuff like that. In my experience, I was semi-sheltered, but I also broke out on my own a little bit before, like, say, my sister.
Sure.
And her and my experiences are, she's 4.5 years younger than I am, but our experiences are way further apart than even that because of my lack of sheltering compared to her over-sheltering.
Yeah.
Because I was sheltered so much that first chance I got was just like bust out, go crazy.
Yeah.
She waited and was told by my mom anyway, like, I'm not gonna make the same mistakes with you as I made with him. And I was like, I appreciate that. So she doubled down on it. And so my sister didn't get a touch of freedom until she was like 19.
Oof.
And it was still slow trotting.
Of course.
And then, you hold somebody back far enough, they're going to have a false sense, like Grant said, of reality. So when they actually get hit with reality, it's fucking overwhelming.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's
And
what y'all
so
be doing?
it's like,
you
wait,
go through that?
I've been lied to my entire life.
Right.
And so it causes a sense of resentment towards the parental units as well.
Oh, yeah. And a shit ton of anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really cool to deal with.
Hashtag most of our generation.
Kids are really more adaptable than adults are. Like, their brain is literally developing and like learning all the time, always. And so
Right.
if you just add the realities of the world to it, they say, "Oh, okay, that's what that's like. That's what this is," And then by the time they're adults, they say, "Oh, yep, I knew that. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I also know how to cope with it."
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
And that never knowing a struggle was. So in my case,
That's why trust fund kids suck.
I kind of, hey, much love to the trust fund kids. Need y'all to be angel investors and some business opportunities.
That's true.
anyway.
Never mind. I love you all.
Love you all.
But like you say, I kind of like broke out. Like, I was in church every Sunday and all this. But then like my little taste of freedom came at a young age. The age is like 13, 14. I was like out there doing shit. You know what I mean? And that caused me to be more rebellious and be more against everything my mom was saying, but also learned those lessons the hard way that she was trying to teach me in a better way. So she kind of did the opposite of your mom with my younger brothers, and she kind of like gave them shelter, but like, hey, now I'm gonna give you this a lot of the time to go do dumb shit, but bring your ass back here. Like for me, I was just out there, until
Yeah.
So it's a fine line between like, hey, you can go do this, but like respect my agency. Sure. You know what I mean? Because I can't cut your ass off. You know what I mean? Like, or, slap you upside the damn head. But yeah, shouts out to Mama Smalls because she was a G. And without, her actual realization of I didn't want to raise a biggity bitch, wouldn't have this awesome ass person in history, to be honest. Yeah, women rule the fucking world. Anyway, they really do rule the world, though. Anyway, now with the Civil War in full swing, the planter is used to carry soldiers and artillery to harbor and eventually to the front lines of war. But this was not possible without the black crew on board. And Smalls, being the leader of the ship's crew, not the captain, mind you, but the leader, he knew all the ins and outs of the harbor and the ship and the routes that the ship took under Captain C.J. Relia. Now, on one fateful night of May 12th, 1962, the Union Navy...
18. 18.
Did I say 19? Yeah. Fuck. Now, on the fateful night of May 12th, 1862, with the Union Navy setting up a blockade around much of the Atlantic and Gulf Coast, causing the Confederates to dig in and defend the Charleston Harbor. Now, the harbor was a major slave trading port, if y'all didn't know, and for the Confederates, it was very valuable. And this harbor is also very close to where the first shots of the Civil War was fired. And at this point, the first-class steamer, the CSS Planter, once a cotton trading ship, is now supplying the front lines with heavy artillery. And it was due to go out again the next morning with 200 rounds of ammunition, a 32-pound pivot gun, a 24-pound howitzer, and 4 other guns. Safe to say, Robert Smalls and crew were working on a floating fucking fort. And on this glorious summer night, the captain and the pilot of white descent, of course, decided to take leave from the ship that night to go out drinking, see family, or, whatever free folk of the time did.
Yeah, whatever they wanted.
Basically. And it left Robert Smalls and his black crew members to tend to the ship and guard its hull for the night. Little did old Cap know, Robert Smalls and company had been waiting on the opportunity to be left alone aboard. And ever since Smalls realized it would take him fucking 700 weeks at minimum. That's without even spending $1 to secure his family's safety. He and several other cohorts planned to take the ship and sail down to the Union blockade to freedom. And now was the perfect time to execute said plan. Now, Smalls drew a very close resemblance to Captain Relia, and his lighter skin made it almost impossible to see them apart, especially at night from a distance. So he was to act as captain, wearing the very recognizable straw hat the captain left behind. Just so coincidentally, the motherfucker didn't even take his hat with him. He was definitely going to get some pussy. Anyway, now his wife was well aware of this plan, so she gathered who she could and waited out on the bay, a little ways away from the harbor, as the skeleton crew of 8 on the planter and their new captain slowly float out from the dock. They make a quick stop, pick up Small's wife, 4 more women, his 2 children, and another child, and that makes it a grand total of 17 slaves. And they embark on a risky but brave journey. After picking up his family and more, around 3:25 a.m., the planter accelerates out of the harbor. Smalls blows the ship's whistle while passing the Confederate forts, Johnson and Sumter, as if all is fine, and the general himself was on board. Smalls knows all the right Confederate Navy signals to flash, of course, and even folds his arms like the former captain as he rocks a straw hat. He convinced the whole brigade of fucking Confederate soldiers he was a white Confederate Navy captain.
So awesome.
And for another positive on their side, the planter was a guard boat, meaning that it was allowed to pass without interruption. When you need your guns, you need your fucking guns.
Right.
So now by this time, the ship floats on past Confederate gun range. An alarm was sounded as the dumbasses realized the ship is headed towards Union blockade. Now, this was the part where Smalls and crew were ready to be free or die, electing to use all their weapons they could to defend themselves if need be. Luck was on their side, though, as they floated on over to the Union territory. Smalls directed the crew to take down the palmetto and the rebel flags and erect a white sheet that his wife had brought aboard. Smart. Now, not in view of the Union Lieutenant J. Frederick Nichols of the USS Onward, hence the names of the ships. Confederate ship is Planter, and Union ship is Onward.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go figure.
he was given orders to the sailors to open the ports and prepare for battle. Now, being it is sunrise, as the ship gets closer into view, yeah, right. As the ship gets closer into view, the lieutenant sees the white sheet and orders his crew to calm the fuck down. They are surrendering. Literally, if they came an hour earlier, everyone aboard the planner would have met their demise. Luckily, they didn't, but the lieutenant definitely didn't expect to see an all-black crew of runaway slaves. Now, in the article I pulled this from off pbs.org, by the way, there's a great insert that they put in here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Also, sources, pbs.org today. In the Negro Civil War, the Dean of Civil War Studies, James McPherson, quotes the following eyewitness account. Just as number 3 port gun was being elevated, someone cried out, "I see something. It looks like a white flag." And true enough, there was something flying on the steamer that would have been white by application of soap and water. This motherfucker.
What?
He had a soapy sun rag to go as a white flag. Okay. As she neared us, we looked in vain for the face of a white man when they discovered that we would not find fire on them, and the contrabands aboard on deck were dancing, some singing, some whistling, some jumping, and others just stood looking towards Fort Sumter and muttering all sorts of mallocations against, the old South. As the steamer came near and under the stern of the Onward, one of the colored men stepped forward, taking off his hat, and shouted, "Good morning, sir. I've brought you some of the old United States guns, sir." That man was Robert Smalls. And he and his family and the entire slave crew of the Planner are now free.
That is so rad.
That is fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, so awesome.
I brought you some of the United States guns, sir. That's fucking wild, man. But also, that's not the end for Smalls, by the way. Smalls, he may not have had that $700 to free his family. But you know what he did have?
His freedom.
His freedom and a fucking reward that came with the, gift of a fucking Confederate ship and the fucking artillery they had on board. Yeah. He received $1,500.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Yeah, on site. So
damn,
boom.
They're like, all right,
yeah. Purchase his wife, and he saved up enough off the tax of it to purchase the old house that he was born behind at 511 Prince Street in Belfort after the fucking war.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So ended up buying the fucking house that he was born behind as a slave. Then this motherfucker became the first black politician serving in the South Carolina State Assembly and Senate for the 5 non-consecutive terms in the U.S. House of Representatives, 1874 to 1876. Before, watching the state roll back the Reconstruction shit, and they took away black voting rights. We talked about all that in the Blackout series. But yeah, he served on the fucking Senate after escaping in a Confederate ship that he stole. And just blindly floated into the fucking
that's awesome.
sea
territory,
to a blockade. It's fucking wild, man. I could have done a lot more research into this, to be honest, but this is the only article that I found that was like down to the brass tacks of every fact. There's not many fucking documentaries or anything on this guy, but I really want to see a movie made about this motherfucker.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd make a great movie.
Like this dude is astonishing balls, grande cojones, as they would say, on old Robert Smalls. Oh, the irony. But yeah, that Beaufort home most recently was listed at $1.2 million.
Whoa.
BT dubs.
All right.
Yeah. Imagine how much the fucking ship was worth if it was still up. That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It should be in a fucking museum, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I hope it is.
Wars happen. But yeah, that's Robert Smalls, man. Short and sweet, but interesting fucking dude.
Yeah. And I really, I would love to see that to be a movie because I'm just thinking about other period pieces are usually, 10 Years a Slave, kind of
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave. Thank
Yeah.
you. Beautiful, but gut-wrenchingly sad.
Yeah, it takes me
You
a
know
minute
what I
to
mean?
watch those movies when they come out. Like,
Yeah.
I have to take a few months.
Yeah.
It's normally like out on like a streaming service or
But
DVD
that one,
or some shit.
you know, is such a good ending. Like, I think it'd make for a great film of, you know, maybe the life of him, you know, dealing with being a slave, how atrocious that is, then learning how to, you know, sail the boat, and then the
Lion
climax of the film.
Lion King formula, my guy.
Right.
Start off sad with the fucked up
Exactly,
shit, and then
exactly.
he grows and learns,
Yeah.
and then comes to the fucking freedom. It's
the circle of life, you know?
Embrace himself as the man he is. But yeah, I couldn't imagine that, you know, that night leaving in a Confederate ship and just trusting this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to head this up. It's like, all right, man, like, we quite possibly will die in the next hour. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you know, I think you said it in the article too, though. Like, they were willing to, you know, take this chance for their freedom or die.
yeah, exactly.
You know, and I mean, this is just like opportunity, you know, for them. Probably the only one they've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And shit, I know I would.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, bro.
No question.
Yeah,
You
no
know?
question at all. It's like,
Even if I didn't even know the plan and I was just on the boat, and
Be like,
they're
yeah, let's go.
They're like, all right, we're headed out. It's like, where's the captain? And it's like, no. We're headed out. Like, oh shit! Hell yeah, let's go! Yeah.
hey, bro, we got guns. He got a hat on. Like, we got a boat, nigga. I think we good, bro. Like, I think
Crosses his arms real well.
Yeah.
we made a white fucking flag out of a dirty fucking rag. So I mean, hey, let's go. I think we got this shit, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Killmonger said in the Black Panther. It's like, let me die with my dignity, like my ancestors that jumped off the fucking boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fuck it. I'd rather just die here than go through what the fuck he gonna put me through and humiliate the fuck out of me. And you know, but yeah, man, crazy. All that shit went down a year and a month from when the fucking Civil War started.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So he learned all that shit in like a year. Signals, the like routes that y'all could take to dodge these motherfuckers, the routes I need to take to get to these motherfuckers. Like he's just studying. Like a whole year, it's like, all right, okay, we got something here because the Union soldiers are basically, you know, blocking in the Confederates to like what they said at the time, enslave the Southern Army.
Oh yeah.
Like keep them under whatever siege or whatever. And he seen it as an opportunity to like sail to fucking freedom and fucking did it. And what's pretty wild is Boxcart Brown. Oh, Box Brown is a fucking wild story that comes with that too. Henry Box Brown. He escaped slavery in a box, in like a shipment box.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and he ended up doing that.
That's
I
worth a
think-
nickname.
Yeah. He ended up doing that, I think, on the fucking planter when fucking Robert Smalls got his freedom, he was like sub-captain to this white dude until they got in battle and all this shit, and the captain ran away from duty. So fucking Robert Smalls became the captain for a minute in the war. And after they won, it turned back into like a shipping boat or whatever. And Henry Box Brown sailed to freedom on one of these shipments in a fucking box.
Hell yeah.
So
That's crazy.
There's that.
Good for him.
Right.
Another little connected story. But yeah, man, wild times in the ghetto. Robert Smalls is a dope ass dude. Shouts out to him and his family. But hope y'all doing well out there. Hope y'all are succeeding, thriving. Hope you either celebrating Valentine's Day or not. It's coming up, you know.
Oh, I guess that is the next like holiday, isn't it?
It's the next money spending. It's capitalism, baby.
Yep.
Let's
The
go.
next capitalist. Yes.
Let's
holiday,
go.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're catching back up. No, here we go.
Yeah,
again.
right. Exactly.
Jesus. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
then
almost
see,
recovered from Christmas money wise. Well, here's Valentine's for you.
see, then we get the big hits for like Southern Christians are coming up.
Easter.
Valentine's Day, Easter, you know, Mother's Day,
Yeah,
Father's
but
Day,
well,
4th of July.
But you got to think
School.
right after
Fucking-
Easter, you got right after or right before you got St. Patty's Day.
Oh yeah,
too.
St. Patty's Day.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, hope that didn't give anybody anxiety.
Gave me some.
Oh man. Well, we love y'all, and I'm saying love, live life because it's worth living, y'all. I'm Justin Hammonds, but that's the second time I've done that. But anyway,
I'm Drew Shelnut. I'm saying be kind, stay informed, and make a motherfucking difference.
Nice. Grant Bramlett here. Everybody out there, if you ever owned slaves, never liked you. And you can quote me on that.
Nice.
But, think about the descendants of those insanely brave people, like Robert Smalls. You know what I mean? Like, he had 3 kids, so it's probably a lot bigger now of the Smalls family.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
maybe
mean?
so.
So, in that regard, I always loved you.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's, it's a little more difficult to trace back for us.
Oh, of course, yeah.
All the documents and shit from the Reconstruction and all the sharecropping shit. But either way, yeah, shouts out to them. Hit us up. Email us at friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com if you're listening. Shouts out to Denmark. I see y'all out here picking
Actually,
up.
that'd be so cool if we got an email from somebody that's like, Robert Smalls is my great granddaddy. Like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Hey, it's not that far removed. People think it's that far removed, man. This shit was not that long ago comparative to other civilizations in history.
No.
But that's, wild to think about. But, shouts out to all the new people.
Yeah,
Love
we'll
y'all.
say Austria, Finland, Armenia, Iran, Czech Republic. Keep
Turn
it
up.
up, guys.
Turn
That's
up.
great.
Turn
Yeah,
up. Hit us
fantastic.
up. You know what I mean?
Jump on that subscription.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
Fuck with your boy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We have the possibility for subscriptions now on Anchor. So yeah.
Subscriptions.
I don't know what that means.
You can
but
do that, or you can
do
just
it.
be a monthly supporter.
Subscriptions. Anyway, next week, back to Critter Corner, bitch. And this is... bitch.
We need a little fucking button for that. It's like Critter Corner, bitch.
Bitch. But, we love y'all. It's been a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction. And we out.
Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the next installment. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on all things Friends, Facts, and Fiction. Our Instagram handle is friends_facts_fiction. As always, please reach out to us. You can send any of your questions, praise, and fact-checking to friends_facts_fiction@gmail.com. It's important to us to only propagate the truth, and we'll correct any errors we may have made. Your hosts and researchers are Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shelnutt. Our episodes are produced by Grant Bramlett. Additional producership provided by Grace Higgs. Our recording engineer is Grant Bramlett. Our editor, mix, and mastering audio engineer is Jeremy Mulder. Lighting design is provided by Justin Hammonds. This has been a production of Friends, Facts, and Fiction.
That was just perfectly timed on me hitting the record button.
Oh, nice.
It was like, so basically, the second the recording starts is going to be a Pringle Crunch.
Nice.